A question might be coming to your mind would be that when you go to buy a laptop, you also consider the few factors. So is the validation of vendor's proposal a bit similar to what you do for buying a laptop? Yes, definitely. The process is very similar to what is done by you for acquiring a laptop. Let's understand how. You must have also bought a laptop or a desktop sometime. When you would have gone to the market, what all was in your mind? In fact, suppose you require that a system for your personal needs or for your official needs. What all did you consider when you went to the market? When you would have gone to the market, you would have seen a shop of Dell selling the Dell items. Then you would have seen another showroom selling HP items. Then you would have seen another showroom selling Lenovo items. So did you not consider a few factors before buying the particular laptop which you have now? There would have been certain factors. You would have seen, okay, which laptop gives me the best performance? Which laptop has got the minimum cost and the maximum benefits? Which laptop says that the maintenance is easier? And how much is the support of the vendor for maintenance? And how much is the system compatible with my existing systems? Did you not consider these points? You would have. For example, if I would have gone to a vendor and would have said, okay, I'll give you the laptop. Along with the laptop, I'll also give you an operating system free. That would be a positive factor. Another vendor says we can only give you the laptop, for operating system we'll charge you extra. So the costs and benefits I'm getting are very important. Similarly, maintainability and vendor support. One person would say that the maintenance is not very high, and even if there is maintenance, there are different methods. Maybe one company would say that we will come to your place, we will repair the laptop, or we will repair or will make any changes and then we'll go back. You would be very happy. Another vendor says, no, we can't come to your place. You will have to go to our showroom, which is located say 30 kilometers away, for any maintenance. Then you will be a little worried. And the third person says you don't have to go to a showroom, but you can just come to our shop and we'll take care of it. So whom will you give the preference out of these three? Obviously the one who is coming to your place, to your home or to your office. So that is vendor support. Compatibility. You would say, I am already having an accounting system. My office uses a lot of accounting system, for example, Tally. I want that the operating system which is being installed in my system should be compatible. It should not create problems in the functioning of Tally. So the vendor would tell you, okay, this is the operating system we provide, this is compatible. Another would say, this system is not compatible, you can't buy that. So these are some of the considerations which help you to evaluate or validate the vendor's proposals. Similar considerations are applicable for companies also. To understand these two approaches, ticket-oriented approach and list-oriented approach, let us consider a small chart, a two-dimensional chart in which there is a list of users, say user P, Q, R and S, and there is a list of resources which they can use. For example, access to the entire organization and access to the only the server room. Now the system has to decide whether access has to be given when what resources is the person authorized to use, and for authorization there are two approaches. The first is the ticket oriented approach. What happens in a ticket oriented approach, for example, the user P comes and says, I want to enter the server room. Now the systems would verify in front of P what all accesses have been given. This is P and these are the accesses. He'll say access to organization, general access allowed, access to the server room not allowed. He'll not allow P to enter. He says you are not allowed to enter the IT room, you are not part of those 50 people. User P, then user Q comes. Q says access allowed to the organizations, okay. He wants access to the server room, no. Then R comes, R organization, yes, IT room, yes. So this approach operates via a row in a matrix, that is all the rights of a user are given in a row in front of him. The system has to go to the name of the user and then see if what all accesses, what all rights he has, and one of them is say access to the server room, the user will be granted. The second approach is the list oriented approach. In the list oriented approach, instead of going this way, the system goes that way. Instead of being a horizontal approach, it is a vertical approach. User will see he's got a list of say users here and a list of rights, access to organization, different people, access to the server room, different people. When the user R asks for access to the server room, instead of going to the rights enjoyed by R, it will go to the access rights given for the server room and see who all users are falling there. And if R is one of those users, which in our case is, it will allow access. So you need to be clear about the difference between the two. As a user who is going to use his card, he won't be aware of this mechanism that is going inside the systems. When you put a card, you enter a say password, you are allowed access. What is going inside the machine, the technology behind has been explained. So there are two approaches, a ticket oriented approach and a list oriented approach. Ticket says whenever user wants any right, the system verifies all the rights which this user have. Is this right requested one of those rights? Yes, allowed, no, disallowed. And a list oriented approach, that particular right will be searched and it will be seen what all users are forming part of that. Is this user amongst one of those users? Yes, if access allowed, if is no, is not a part of that list, access denied. So this is the way two approaches function. Let me give you a simple example to understand what is this cloud computing, networking, etc. Now there is a certain technology which is used these days, that is a Dropbox, for example. Now earlier what used to happen, I am working in an office. There are 10 article clerks in my office and everybody is doing his own work. And then everybody comes to the office, I ask them to give me their files. What happens? Now one way is we have a common server in the office, everybody is connected to that, puts his files in the server, and then for example he gives me a file, I review the report and then give him back to him with changes, then he gives me again gives it to me after making certain more changes. But the problem here was that either everybody has to be physically present in the office, or if you don't want that, then you need to send a lot of mails. He'll send me the file, I'll mail him back, he'll send me again, I'll mail him back. And in all this exchange of mails, at times it becomes a confusion as to which mail contained what and which was the latest one. An audit report could be changed, for example, 10 times. So it's difficult for me and the article clerk to keep a record as to which file was exchanged when and which is the latest one. Now the concept of Dropbox is there. I have access to 10,000 files in my system. I don't want to give the entire access to everybody. There is one particular article clerk who is working on a particular client. So I want to share with him the balance sheets for the last 2 or 3 years, the audit reports, etc. I give him a folder in his system. That folder is obviously, the access to that folder is given through the internet. He downloads the folder. I have a copy of that folder. He has a copy of that folder. Whenever he makes any changes to that file, it is also updated via the internet in my system. So obviously the requirement of internet is a must. Without that you cannot use Dropbox. And if I ask him, okay, have you made the changes? Close the file, let me review. I open the file after some time, 3 or 4 hours, whenever I get time, I start to review, make some changes and again close the file. Then save the file, again the latest version is uploaded. And then he opens, he gets the latest version. So now the life is much more simpler. There are no exchange of mails. Nobody has to be physically present in the office, and with the help of internet you are getting a space to keep your files. In fact your computer becomes a kind of a server which can be used to give accesses to 10 different or so many different people who can work on their own computers or laptops. So in fact you are using the cloud, the internet for computing that is doing work on the computer. So the concept of cloud computing can then be explained in this way.